Hello, college football fans. Summer has passed and it is now week 0, which means it's time for the Lingus College Football Classic in Dublin, Ireland. This year, to kick off the 2024 season, we have the number 10 Florida State Seminoles versus the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. I will break down this game on both sides of the football and give you my prediction. Florida State has 10 returning starters from the 2023 team. My question is, how will they respond to running the table last year but still getting left out of the college football playoff? Could they be out for a revenge tour? They have a new transfer quarterback, DJ Uiagalelei, who came out of the portal from Oregon State after starting his career at Clemson. He has a 59% career completion percentage, and that number is going to need to be much higher this year if the Noles want to find success through the air. Looks like the offensive line should be a strength for this team. They used the portal to find some big bodies to fill any holes left from last season. Also, in the running back room, it looks like Bama transfer Roydell Williams will win the right to start. FSU did, however, lose some serious downfield weapons. It looks like Ja'Kai Douglas could be a guy to step up in that wide receiver room. Also, Kyle Morlock is looking to replace last year's tight end production by Jaheim Bell. Also, keep in mind that offensive coordinator Alex Atkins has been suspended from the game. Mike Norvell does call the plays, but this is still a big loss for the team. On the defensive side of the ball, the Noles secondary should continue to be very impressive with some especially elite corners, as they were 11th in pass defense last year. They do have some new faces mixed into the defensive line and linebacker rotation, which makes run defense a concern for me, as this team was rated 70th in run yards given up last year. Moving on to the Jackets, Georgia Tech is returning 17 starters from their 7-6 team last year. They were quietly 4th in the ACC rankings with a 5-3 record in conference play. Quarterback Haynes King has been a dynamic threat on the ground and through the air during his time at Tech, but he must limit his turnovers this season. The Jackets have a deep wide receiver room, with their main downfield threats being Eric Singleton Jr. and Malik Rutherford. They did, however, lose a big-time weapon in tight end Brett Scyther, who is out for the season with a knee injury. They have a strong running back in Jamal Haynes, who averaged just over 6 yards per carry last year. They also have 4 starters returning on the offensive line and were the best in the ACC for rushing yards and sacks allowed last season. You can expect this to be a physical group on the line of scrimmage. The Jackets have completely revamped their defensive staff, headlined by defensive coordinator Tyler Santucci. Last season, he was at Duke with the best scoring defense in the ACC. Georgia Tech should have a sound secondary this season, led by safeties Clayton Powell-Lee and Lamiles Brooks. They've added some depth to the defensive line and linebacker core from the portal. However, my biggest concern for this defense is the amount of pass rush production that they're going to have to replace. Overall, the Jackets have to step it up on defense this year, as this was one of the worst rushing defenses in FBS last season. They also struggled with giving up third down conversions at a very high rate. The current game odds has Florida State as a 10.5 point favorite. They are minus 425 on the money line, with Georgia Tech being plus 340 to win outright. I think that 10.5 is just too much of an edge. I do not trust DJ going into this first game with a new system. I also think it'll take time for the Noles to really figure out who's going to fill the gaps left from last season. Give me the Jackets to cover and win outright. I think that Haynes King and Jamal Haynes will put up plenty of points together, as they are a dynamic combo, and Tyler Santucci will have a good enough defensive scheme to contain the Noles enough for Georgia Tech to win this football game. Subscribe if y'all want the spiciest college football predictions all season long. Thank you for watching, and I'll see y'all on the next one.